We're live. Take it away.
And by the sounds of all those notifications, it must be the start of No Quarter, episode 39. This one's called VXP, Very Expensive Weekend. The link is in the YouTube chat if you want to come and join us. We'll talk about VXP, obviously, and probably another couple of things that's going on. That must be Toxic's speaker I can hear myself in, but anyway. So we'll say hello to everyone. So g'day, Ross.
Good evening.
G'day, Shane.
Hello, peoples.
And we've got Toxic with mic problems.
G'day. It's not me.
Damnation.
What kind of crap is this, dude? It's my freaking show, and I'm always last. What the hell?
That's because you're the most important.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, I'll let that slide then.
Yeah,
all
for
right.
sure.
but I'm the lead presenter. I'm the lead presenter, damn it.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Go ahead.
And you've got me, which is RB. So I guess the big topic of the week is VXP. I can still hear myself, but anyway. So does anyone want to talk about it? How's your experience been, apart from expensive?
It's terrible, dude. It's terrible, dude. You hardly get any freaking VXP out of these targets whatsoever. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how low it is. Just a shit payout for the death. So I've not spent no coin on it. I've only got 2 built, so it's 5-hour repair. When they're repaired, I send them out there to die, and then I just sit on repair again until they're ready to go again. I got one more run tonight, and that'll all I'll get on them for this round. I mean, usually I'll spend a coin on each ship and go out there and keep doing it, and I'll run that Salty Dog crew out, and I'll get them done. But at that payout, I'm not doing that. Ain't no way.
Well, I mean, as a historical reference to our last siege hulls, the Bucks and the Hydras, like, people went back and checked, and it took 4 hits to get max rank.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 3 or 4 hits. I mean, that was it. Yeah.
And now we're at 16 hits. It's going to take
16. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that over the course of a year, well, not even quite a year, because it's obviously just the start of this year, that we're already at this much more. And I went back and had a look as well, and I think, didn't they end up putting something else in the target to make it so we were getting more VXP? Was that cycle, or have I got that mixed up?
I can't remember if they put like fleets and torque towers in there, or if they made the buildings worth VXP. It was one of the two. I can't remember. It's been a year, and I've slept a couple times since then, so I can't remember.
Yeah, I know, because it was. I know that we had this same problem because VXP hasn't come from buildings for a long time, or probably ever actually. But anyway, I'd remembered them adjusting them so we could end up, actually getting some VXP. But it's more the issue of the health points that we've got to hit it so many times now. So there's certainly going to be an awful lot of people that don't have fully ranked fleets for the next raid cycle, and I guess that is what it is.
Yeah, I did rank three blank holes that I have. I don't have the 4th one out in time to rank it, so I already saw that I'm gonna have problems building the fleet in time, and then this ranking just added to that. For me, it makes me wonder now. I'm just not really a player that I don't really want to do a raid that if I hit below 80 level targets, and multiplier. I'm thinking if I'm going to have to use my Buccaneer fleet from the last cycle, because in general, when you don't have complete fleets, these hulls by design with the boost in mechanics from the additional ship boost on in each fleet, I don't think that I'm not sure that 3 ships would do as well as a Buccaneer fleet, in my opinion. I don't know, and so that's my question now: is it what's my going to go to? Am I really looking at grinding below level 80 targets at this point in the game for me? And if so, then I guess I'll sit out. But I mean, I'm not going to leave the game or anything. But I don't find any fun in that, so I'm just going to sit out of that. I think that there's still aspects probably in the game that I can find enjoyment, and I just don't think that something built by design to kill my ship and only have it benefit get ranked by its death, not by there's no chance of improvement by design, is not a thing I'm going to partake in anymore. I mean, not just today. In the future, there's just no way. So when those by design are like those, I'm not talking about things built when they have errors, right? But when they're designed and created on purpose to do that, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. So that's just not fun. There's no part in ranking a ship and having it in 15 times and coining it 15 times is fun. Matter of fact, it's driving players away. That's my opinion.
Well, and the saddest part is, I could understand if it was a mistake and they didn't know it was going to happen, but every single siege raid cycle, when we have to rank our boats on siege target, this is what we end up with, and this is the problem. So it's not like this is a new situation. It's every freaking time, man.
Yeah, well, to me, the problem is more that because we've had to do the suicide fleets for quite a while, so that I can live with that. I just can't live with having to do it 15 times. It's like there is no way that that's affordable or something that I'm going to participate in, because it's like I worked it out, and with the exchange rate and everything, it's going to cost me a lot more than a raid to rank the ships that I need to raid with. So it just doesn't make any sense, and you get so much more out of a raid. I mean, I guess the argument would be that, well, you'll be able to use them for map targets and everything, but that's a long way off. That's not immediate. So yeah, I just don't get it.
Heaven forbid if anybody had any defenders they wanted to rank. Because they're just going to sit at that far outside edge of the target and never have anything happen.
Yeah. Well, see, too, the other issue with that is I wanted to see if anyone had checked that, because the splash screen on the top says that you're only getting 1 defender token now instead of 3. Is that right? Does anyone know if that's the case?
I got 3.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then.
The splash screen at the top says 1, but when you go to hit the target, it says 3, and when I completed mine, I got 3.
Okay, well that's cool. That's not so bad, because I thought they were, screwing us every single way possible, because you can't zombie or put a coin on anymore either. So that strategy's out the window. So it's basically you go in and it's a good thing they extended it back to what it's 36 hours is supposed to be, because you're only going to get 2 hits in if that was the case. So you can get 3 hits in.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing. I'm like, my God, can you imagine if it was going to be the 24 hours that was originally posted? Oh my gosh.
So it was good to see that was quickly changed. So, because I saw that, and the table was starting to look like it was going to get flipped, but whatever. Cool. All right. I guess that's probably about all we can say about that because there's no point going on about it. So,
did Toxic talk about VXP at all?
Oh, that's true.
I've not done much. I only had one hull. The second one only just come out last night. And I'll run one through 3 times and the other one twice. And the third one's still building. And I'm not putting any coin in it. So, and I'm not one to save up tokens. So for 2 weeks before and chests and all that sort of crap, I use the tokens and the things I got. I use them for my breaches to hit bases. So I'm having more fun doing that than ranking ships for the raid that I may not be able to do as it is anyway. So yeah, like everybody else, I'm not a fan of feeding it 12 times and coining it. So I used to put a coin or 2 on, but not when it's like that. It's their loss, not mine. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Cool. Sorry about that. So what did we all think of the targets? Is there anything that you've learned? Is there any strategies that you think are going to work? What did you think of them in general?
I think graphically they're great. I mean, they look good to me. Visually, I think that some turrets are hard for old man eyes to distinguish where exactly, but I think that's just only that'll change after the 3rd target I hit. I'll know where they're at and more or less in which there are. I think the art department did a great job on the target. I like also the size of the target. So I like those things about it.
Yes, the same here. I took my my breaches in there, and I thought it was a fun target to hit with breaches, even though it took a bit long. But you can do it with you can kill the whole thing, and that was fun. It was more fun than driving the eradicated in there. That's for sure.
I know I personally there's some things I like about the target and some things I don't. I like the arcs, where when you mouse over them, you can see where the arcs are, so you can actually know how to approach turrets and stay completely out of their line of fire. I've noticed, I don't know if anybody else notices, but there were times when I would click on a turret to go target it, it would go up and it would, my range ring would keep going until the turret was fully enclosed by my range ring, so it was actually taking me up too close to the turret. I had a few times where I would click a target and it would not park me at a stationary point, but it would make my fleet do little bitty donuts around while it was shooting at the turret. And I thought that was kind of crazy. I noticed taking breachers in there, my arms were attempting to shoot through the mountains. So they were able to target the turret, but they weren't able to actually do any damage to the turret. So that probably won't be an issue for the fleets that are actually be hitting the targets, but in VXP weekend it's pretty stupid. But I don't know. Overall, I liked the design of the target, but there was definitely some issues that I saw in there.
So we've had that issue before with the turret bases not being exactly located properly, because that's what it is, right?
I'm not sure if that's what it is this time, because I would actually get to the point where I would the turret, which shouldn't have been shooting at me, would actually because it was one of the short range turrets. But by the time it on approaching it on auto, I would actually get close enough to where it would be shooting at me. So I'm not sure if it's just I don't think it's so much a graphical representation this time as it is shit's just going too far forward.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, that's a good tip about mousing over the turrets if you hadn't noticed that about where the arcs are and all that sort of thing. So I quite like them. I think like Ross, some of the turrets are kind of hard to see, but I guess we'll get used to them because they've blended them in so well that you can't quite see exactly where they are. But
exactly.
I think we'll get the hang of them. So. And it'll be your choice of going clockwise around the island or anti-clockwise around the island.
Right. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of different strategy options, I don't believe. Possibly, but not.
I myself am probably leaning towards counterclockwise around the island.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we'll find, which way is the best way to go. But and it'll be interesting too if we're locked into just, entering from the one spot up in that corner. So, but I think you might be right with counterclockwise just seeing. But I mean, these are only a sample target anyway, so I guess we won't know exactly until we actually get in there and start to play with them. So.
There was that one spot where they had the two little long-range turrets tucked back in like this little alcove that was surrounded by mountains. That like there was literally absolutely no way to keep from getting shot by those guys, but at least they seemed like the long-range ones that didn't seem to hit very hard, from what I was noticing.
Yeah, I went and had a look at the cycle strategy guide to. It's a couple of weeks old now, like 10 days ago or something like that, and that'll give you a breakdown of what turrets do what. So I think they say that one's it's long range, but it's not able to shoot on. So yeah, but overall, they seem like a fairly reasonable target. So I guess we just need the ships to actually be able to kill them.
I know the turrets that seemed to be chewing me up the worst was they had it was a short range Howie basically that was in there. Boy, if you get in range of that thing, you ain't gonna last long. Let me tell you, that thing will beat the hell out of you. And then they had another one. I guess it was almost like a flog or whatever. That it seems that hit you, it could do some pretty significant damage.
Where is it? I've got it here. That might be the slug thrower. Oh no, that's the one from a long way away. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know because I didn't go in the targets very much. So, did anyone go in the 58? By the way, was that any better, different? Still the same design?
I
peak.
Definitely did not. I mean. If it's built by designed less VXP than the 88 and you have to die to get your points, then I'd choose the other, I guess.
Yeah, no, I generally go in them to have a look at just to see what's in there and what they're like, but I haven't done that this time because I've just been repairing basically with all the FM issues and everything else. It's been a pretty heavy lot of just repair fleets, and that's been about my weekend of Battle Pirates.
Is the mechanics in the 58 different than the 88? Do you earn VXP from killing things, or do you just get it?
No. It'll just be from dying. So you're going to get the same VXP no matter which one, I would think.
Okay.
Although honestly, this tends to pay out more. So you probably actually would get less VXP in the 58 for doing the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of asking. So they did this by design. They did this intentionally. They built two targets that you can't get more VXP, but you just get VXP for dying. But one gives you less than the other. Why did they put two? Are they just being mean to people that picked the wrong one? I don't get that.
Because No, it's because they don't actually play the game and they don't have to worry about ranking their boats, so they have no concept of what goes into it. You know, they get all their shit sculled automatically by pushing a little freaking button. So they don't have to go through the pains of ranking, so they don't get it.
Okay. Okay. I just didn't. By design, that just doesn't make sense. Why you even spend the time to even type out do two targets. It doesn't make sense.
Well, the idea behind it is that one is the higher level raid target and the other one's the lower level raid target. So that's why I go and have a look, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, for getting a rundown on the targets, I totally understand why they did it, but for as far as VXP purposes, it makes no sense.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to hit them. So
yeah, it's more just take a looky-loo and be like, okay, this is probably what this one's going to be like, the S set or tier 8 or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. I kind of lost track. And then the other one will be like, a tier 6 or something probably.
Yeah. Well, my thinking was that, because I'm, at the realization that I'm not going to have a lot to do the next raid with. I'll have 4 hulls, but they won't be ranked. So, well, I might have 4 hulls. We'll see how we go. But it's more that, looking to see, well, can my bucks do the equivalent 58 target, or can my hydras do the equivalent 58 target? That's more of what I'm looking at rather than the VXP from it. So I'm just trying to investigate what's there.
That makes sense too, and that does make sense in that point. But I mean, so I imagine that I'll try that out now too, because I mean, that's where it's going to look at for me. I have a fleet of Buccaneers, and I'm hoping that they're going to do okay.
Yeah.
I mean, after the Krampus event, where you get the lead ship, apparently, I would expect another VXP weekend be thrown in before the raid to try to rank lead ship up.
Is there time? Because doesn't the Krampus event start like right at Christmas or right directly after Christmas, and then the next Sunday or the next week after that would be the raid, because that'd be the first Thursday of the month. I'm not sure there'd be time for VXP weekend in there.
I was pretty sure I heard that they've put the raid off a week.
Yeah, they put the raid back, as far as I know.
Well, that first Thursday of the month didn't last very long, did it?
Yeah, it was interesting because. Go on, Toxic.
I just said it lasted as long as it needed to.
Yeah, I was on Discord and Chris was explaining how they've timed everything, so it was getting pretty tight there. So I guess the raid had to be the first thing, and I guess because it's the start of a brand new year of BP that they could change the rules again. So.
Okay, so what happens in February then? Does that mean in February we only get 3 weeks between raids, or is it now always going to be the second Thursday of the month?
That means we're screwed in February, I believe.
Sounds kind of what it's like to me.
I don't know. I'm assuming that they've mapped it all out, but that's a massive assumption. So.
Yeah, like I said, good one.
Yeah, who knows? Cool. So I guess the other thing is they have also posted up the BP next week. So I don't know if everyone's seen that or not yet. It's been shared a few places. So Monday there's another Wrong Thinker Thinks discussing the PvE damage formula. So this topic is part of what creates issues for difficulty tuning in raids. So hopefully they'll tell us what they're going to do there.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
Well, yeah.
Knowing the things I know, I do not buy that at all.
Anyway, so then Wednesday the bounty briefing comes up. So there's going to be another refit discount period. So that'll be good to get that done, and then bounty starts next Thursday, the 20th.
Okay, so we're gonna have a refit discount period. That's great. Are we getting tokens to go with that discount period? Because if we don't get tokens to go with the discount, then it's kind of pointless.
It's hard to know. I don't know what their discount implies, whether it's a discount on resources or discount on build times. It's hard to know. I certainly haven't seen any more information about it, so that's all I know about it.
What do you guys think about the return of bounty?
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Would you like to
Because
Just to see what they're offering next. I mean, and like I said, I was starting to enjoy bounty when I started getting the fleets built back up to be able to participate in it. You know, I might not like to go and bash on people's bases and all that. I like to have a nice tough base myself, but that don't mean I don't like to hit bases. I just don't like messing with people. I don't mind it that we got the NPC targets in bounty. I'll be one who goes out and gathers points, and you can come try to get them for me. And let's try to make the best out of bounties. What I've tried to do since I've been able to participate in it, you know. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we have NPC targets, because God only knows what they decide they're going to change.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes.
For me, this is gonna be my first bounty that I don't have what I consider. I don't have a base hitting fleet, so I've gotten all the new hulls, but I have had to use them for guard. So I just don't see it. I haven't been one to grind the map targets. I like the PvP side, the opposite. I like actually hitting people, but I don't. At the moment, I don't have a fleet for that. So I guess I'll be hanging out.
Well, I mean, I'm not using the breachers for my defense. I've been trying to stick true to the defensive hulls, and the current defense fleet I'm running, I like it. I don't feel pressured to have to use the new hull to defend my base right now.
I think a lot of that I think is dictated on who you're hit by. Like, you know, like I know I myself, I get hit by some okay guys, but I don't get hit by any of the really top guys. Like Ross, for example, gets hit by. So I think that's where a big dividing line can come into play too. Like Ross gets hit by the guys who are like, oh, sure, I'll spend, 50, 75, 100 coins to get in your base just so I can be like, I got your base. Or
yeah,
I don't have that big of a target on my back.
Yeah, and I mean, if those are the only guys that can get in my base, I'm kind of cool with that. Yeah,
I look at that the same way. I'm like, dude, if you had to spend 100 coins or 50 coins to get in my base, then I won as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a shit what the battle log says. As far as I'm concerned, I won.
Yeah, no, and I'm okay. I'm sitting okay like that, as far as that, because it takes quit. I mean, people are still walking me, but it's still, they're not getting in for free, so, but I just don't have anything to return it. I'm not, I just don't have a fleet. So I wish I did. I mean, I'm not down on the whole thing. I'm a huge proponent of PvP, and I hope, in all honesty, not for you to screw you guys, but I hope something cool and neat doesn't come out, because I'm not in any shape to participate in it. I mean, if they were to change it to make it a great all PvP event right now, what I've been wanting since the start of it, I'd be left out. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any foreknowledge or anything, but I would almost bet that this bounty will be the tier 8 defender. I would almost bet.
It should be. As far as I know from what they've said before, I'm pretty sure it would be.
But you never know, because we got like the, for example, in the tier 7, we got the onslaught and the missile strike cruiser before we got any kind of defender, if I recall.
Yeah, I can't remember why I would think that, but I'm pretty sure they said that it was going to be the defender hull. But
Good deal.
anyway, I'd have to actually go back and
Yeah, if I recall,
a lot of stuff.
Right. I'm just historically, if I recall, in tier 7, we would get 2 conquerors and then a defender, and then 2 conquerors and then a defender, and then 2 conquerors and then a defender.
Yeah,
if I recall.
Yeah, I also have heard this rumor. This is a while ago that there's going to be a defender hull up for grabs in the bounty. This is a while though that I've heard that.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I would hope so. What else you got, RB? We still got 30 minutes to fill up.
I know. It's going very quick, isn't it? I'm actually just trying a 58 as we speak, so you guys can keep on talking because I'm concentrating on something else.
Well,
So you're trying it with bucks or hydras, or what you trying it with?
Well, why don't you screen share if you're going to be doing it?
Well, that'd be crazy talk because then I'd fail and everyone would laugh.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get VXP is to fail anyway. So what difference does it make?
But I won't be getting VXP anyway because I'm just trying it to see how it actually works.
Shut up and turn, Terry.
Hang on a sec. Just let me finish this one and then I'll do another one. So
now I tried to hit an herb, and I was just overwhelmed with all the VXP I got out of that, so I stopped it immediately. I got like 35 VXP points. That's without a salty or anything like that. I just about hit one. So 35 VXP. So that's a joke. Very hard to rank everything right now. Even hulls that I like my Greta's not fully ranked. It's at 74 or something. And my Razor Tail's not fully ranked. The lead ship, that is, only the flag, not the rest of them. And I won't even bother putting them in one of those targets because I'm just going to get repair out of it and no VXP. So, yeah, it's just going to stay the way it is until I guess the next cycle. So we get better VXP out of the targets.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be totally honest. Between the longer build times that we've crept back up to, going and like being so hard to rank my boats this time around, this is going to be the most unprepared I think I've been for a raid in a long freaking time. To be totally honest about the whole thing.
Oh, for sure. This would be the most, and yeah, I mean, I like being prepared. I'm not even gonna be close. So,
I mean, I'm a very frugal person with my coin, and I really have to see value before I spend any coin. And there ain't no value in this VXP weekend, not at all.
And so,
I mean, I spent more than I should have. I spent 40 gold, but all of that was gold that I had gotten from a ticket. So it's not like I was spending my money. So, but even after 40 gold that I got out of the ticket, I spent that. I had regrets of having spent it, and I wasn't going to spend any more than that.
Yeah, it's hard to follow their thought, the way they're thinking. It's I don't know. It just I can't explain it why anyone would do that sort of thing, and expect people to pay for it. I don't know. I don't know how many people did. And I'm sure there will be fleets out that are fully ranked and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
The part of me, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on here for a minute. Some of the things I've been seeing in the game lately, and some of the people I've been seeing make their way back into the game, makes me think there might be like hinky shenanigans going on in the background.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned that before. All right, so the 58s are pretty doable. So I haven't done anything to this fleet at all from what it was. So I got an hour and 5 out of the last one. So I think, so this has got the old charged armors on it, 3 ballistic, 1 radioactive. So I've got a feeling I might have to be 2 of each is probably the better way to go. But anyway, you can avoid most stuff. So it's not, they're quite doable. So if they keep to targets like this, we'll be okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's probably a target that'll pay out like 20,000 points.
Oh yeah,
and,
I'm sure.
And a raid where you need 500 million.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's just a whoa. That one got me. Heal you, dog.
The pressure is on.
Look, I'm not exactly trying very hard, to be quite honest. As you can see by the, I'm activating every.
You're not checking firing arcs and doing any of that stuff. You're just running around like a crazy person.
Yep. Because that's more fun. I love repair. But you can see how the arcs turn up anyway, so it's not too hard to actually work out where stuff is.
Well, if you love repair, you definitely picked the right game. I'll tell you that.
Well, I didn't before this weekend, but I've suddenly got this strange hankering to get more of it.
Why does one of your boats have a longer range?
Is this your Hydras?
Yeah.
You got
okay.
Yeah, I see.
So
yeah, that makes perfect sense. I thought he was doing Eradicator because I'm only half paying attention.
Yep. Anyway, so they're quite doable. Hey,
now go do a big one. Now go do a big one with that same fleet.
How stupid do you think I am?
Well, I've seen somebody do it with the Hydra fleet out there. Took like a quarter damage, I think, on his fleet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you keep your healing one alive, you should be okay. So you'll get a fair bit of damage, but as long as you can keep your healing one alive, you'll be okay.
Cool.
So it would almost be worth trying to, I don't know about back it off at all, but you'd probably be all right anyway. So, because I was being pretty brutal and just running around like stupid. So, yeah.
Let's go back and look at some of the chat comments. Let's see. Cuttlefish. Actually, Cuttlefish, he said that no game designer lasts a year. That's not necessarily true. Like, Robot's been a designer for quite some time now. GD Scargy has been there for quite some time now. It's just a lot of the face ones change fairly often. But like before GD Riken left, he was there for a really long time. So we just happen to be in a thing right now where a lot of them got changed. Let's see. Yeah, Nomad 55. Apparently, I do believe we are going to have mountains for our bases at some point, but I haven't really heard anything about exactly when it's going to happen. I would assume after the raid cycle is over. I'm scared to death that they're going to be like, you can win the mountain tiles by limited blueprints that you can find one rock at a time.
You get a shot of a mountain.
Yeah.
Don't even think that.
Well, historically, that's what's happened.
One pebble at a time. One pebble at a time, and you have to collect 250 of them. They'll be like freaking mega holes.
That would be insane. But yeah, I guess there'd be some interesting changes to our bases, though, if and when it does happen. So, because obviously the walls aren't doing that much. So, yeah. Cool. Well, everyone is a very quiet bunch this weekend.
I was gonna say, watch when they do the mountain tiles, they're gonna actually end up doing that, and then I'm gonna get freaking crucified by everybody. Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Well, aren't we blaming Dooms for it?
I don't know. Well, no, we're blaming him for the tiles themselves. Now, as far as how you get them, yeah, that one will fall fully on my shoulders if they do that.
Isn't there a weapon that can shoot over it or around it or whatnot?
For the Shrike, yeah, it's supposed to be able to when you surface and stop is when you can shoot over the mountains.
Right, and that's a siege, Charlie, right?
Apparently.
So if you put that in your base, which they want to do, then there's going to have to be a hull that can shoot over the mountains as well. Otherwise, it's like an obstacle that you cannot penetrate or go. You have to go around it rather than through or over it.
Maybe there'll be a little landing craft with miners, and they can mine underneath.
The drones.
Yeah, drones.
They fly around it. Little helicopters.
Battle commander.
That's it. I told you it wasn't just a rumor.
Oh dear. Cool. All right. Well, any other topics? Did anyone want to mention the FM or anything like that? Have we seen the walls go back in the 120s and 121s to where they were? Has anyone got any thoughts on that?
Well, I've autoed the 120, and I thought that the damage autoing it was less than what it was before. I autoed 5, and I was down to 55% health on my fleet, and I thought there was more, that I could only do the same sort of thing with doing it 4 times on auto. So I didn't think that it's gotten any worse. Although when I drove it, I couldn't get to the 20-minute mark. It was always around the 30-minute mark of damage, and that was all the fleet stacked on top of each other. So I didn't use the lead to take all the damage or anything like that. So I didn't notice much difference. Maybe a little bit driving, but certainly a reduction in the autoing part of it.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So there's been a lot of talk about this on Discord, and so is your fleet have a lot of splash to it?
No, it's just probably an average fleet. It's nothing super special or anything like that. It's just it's always it's the normal of the mold of the fleet. It's nothing crazy on it.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a lot of discussion between some people had found that they'd use tokens to take off their warhead reloader and change it to high yield warheads, and had reported that had made a fair bit of difference, and they were back to seeing the times that they'd originally seen. But I know for me, I have to, instead of just circling the outside, I have to actually stop and kill the groups of turrets now. I can't just do it the way that I used to do it. So to me, that indicates that it's not back to the way that it was. But that's
I didn't see that. I just dropped right around. I couldn't see any difference driving. That something took longer to kill or was quicker to kill. it all looked the same. I just got what I thought maybe 5 minutes more damage in the driving bit, and a lot less in the autoing. That's all I saw, and I'm just checking now. Like I got 62% splash on one. Yeah, 62% seems to be what the splash that I have on my fleet. So,
and what about you, Ross? I know you talked about it quite a
I'm
bit.
having the same things as you. Right when originally I jumped right into doing it, I was shocked because I just have a pattern, that I usually do the same, and get so monotonous, and it's just a loop, and I'm halfway through where I usually half the target's dead by now, and I look down, and originally the turrets are still there, so I had to make another pass. Well, and then they said that they fixed that and brought it back down. Well, no, I'm still running. I know I only had very few clicking, seldom points. I was willing to take whatever damage. I just don't. I'm not a PvE fan, so I know. I mean, it's like 4 points. I try to get around the whole target, and by doing those 4 points now, I still pass those. I still pass certain turrets. I do have to stop exactly what you're saying, and so that totally changed on how I have to do the weekly, and yeah, not really in my favor. I mean, we have to hit so many, and then now we stop. But so I think they were the walls created an issue, and then they were adjusted, and I think they were brought back down maybe 80%. But they're just not they're just not the same target we did have before.
Yeah, there's certainly different things going on. So because one of the theories that the people in Discord were talking about, the even though you're not taking the walls down as quickly, the splash is taking the turrets out, so you're not seeing the turrets still sitting there. I know when I first did one on Thursday night, I went in there to hit it, and I'm like, okay, big weekend, get the FM done as quickly as possible. And the turrets and the walls just laughed at me, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm now going to repair that fleet, and I'm going to leave it alone. So, I mean, it's good that they've adjusted it, but it's certainly not back to the way that it was. So,
I know I personally, and I might be alone in this, but after they did the fix to, make the walls back from being unkillable back to what they were, I actually found the targets easier to kill.
Mm-hmm.
I might be alone in that, but that's the way I found them.
It made me switch targets. I did switch. I used to do better in the 120 than I do the 121. So now I do better in the 121. I just swap targets.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I might try that if I ever finish repairing. Sorry, Toxic.
The 121 was always the one that I took more damage in, and I haven't tried one because it's even before they did the war thingy. It always like 10-15 minutes more damage in a 121. So I don't normally do that. And I haven't tried one since, or in this FM yet, so I can't say.
And you'd be hitting 120s too, Damnation?
Yeah.
And what about your little alt? Did you find any difficulties there? Because there's still the other walls, the lower targets.
No, he's been going through pretty much, the same from the get-go. Like, he's not doing any FM at the moment because I'm trying to put some rank on my one dragon that I have. But yeah, he's been able to do 89s with one dragon with no rank on that dragon. And at this point, I don't think there's any anti-mortars on that hull either. Or I think it has like 2 phalanx swords on it, and that's it. So, but he's been able to do 89s. He can do like 5 89s, I think, before he has to go in and repair.
Okay.
But like, I don't have a good frame of reference with him to know like if it's doing more or less than what it was before, because it's the first time he's ever been able to do that. So
yeah, that's true. And what about you, Shane? Any thoughts?
No, just mogging through, sitting on repairs. Maybe after the VXP weekend, I'll be able to repair stuff and maybe get a couple more of those TLCs done. But I'll get done what I get done, and we'll be where we're at. I mean, like I said, I usually coin, but I'm not going to coin idiocy.
Yeah, it's quite understandable. The other thing I saw too was the TLC that if you've got short range dragons, so it'd be the turrets of terror, I guess, you know, you'll get a crap ton of damage in that. So that might not be worth one doing if you've got short range.
Well, I don't even have a full fleet. I'm missing 2 dragons. I just got the Greta countermeasure and 2 Gretas or 2 dragons. So it's not even worth me even trying that one.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I showed Shane one day how you could do 120s with just the Greta and 2 dragons. He's like, well, I'll do that and we'll stop there.
Yeah, I mean, because all I was needing them for was the FM. If they'll get me through, and I mean, at the time I was building other stuff and catching up, you know, so I didn't have all the extra time to go ahead and build out the full fleet.
Yeah, there's certainly, while they've offered dragons a lot of times, there's certainly no tokens really for them at all. So it's not really something you can catch up on with unless you make the choice to ignore something else that you're going to need. So it's a bit tricky. So
yeah.
And I can't believe how married they still are to making that Greta so high in price, even though it's been out for over 6 months now. You know, because what was it in the raid? It was still like 35 million freaking points.
Yeah,
40, something like that.
Yep.
Whereas like the Makara was what, 20, I think, if that.
Yeah, it was 20.
Yeah, I think 20 the Hawkins and the Brennas were all 20, if I recall.
Yep.
Well, it's like drawing. It's like drawing teeth this week. So I guess if no one else has really got anything more to say,
Has anyone tried to roll? Has anyone tried to roll cruise at all?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently
solely dependent on the Scourge blockade for uranium. I didn't have a uranium fleet, and I used to roll plenty of the grease monkeys, and now that Kick's given me the bat race, I've got a uranium fleet, so I've been hitting uranium and I've been running like a champion. I have, and I've not got one grease monkey. It's nothing comes up. It's just like I might as well roll the 500. There's nothing good coming up. And I was just wondering whether anybody else had that experience or.
No, she seems to went back to RB over there because I've been getting a demo squad today. Not no more grease monkeys. RB's getting them all.
Well, that's not exactly true. So, so while I was raiding for repairs yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm bored. What am I going to do? Okay, so I'll roll some crews because I used a fair few grease monkeys through the raid. So knowing historically that they dial up and down the crews, judging on what you need. So generally it's hard to roll a silver salty on a VXP weekend. So whether this is true or not, this is what I have found over the years. So, okay, so this is a good time to roll other crews rather than your silver salties. So I did go a little crazy at it. I think in the end I did 8 SSRBs, something like that, and just kept on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling for a grease monkey. And I was the same. I just couldn't get shit. So I did get one this morning, however. The only good part of that is that I did get 4 demo squads out of it, so they'll be good for the siege cycle. So I did get some good stuff, but I rolled a crap ton.
Yeah, I mean, I threw salties away. I've rolled that many salties. I don't want them. I want gold crews, and I've got plenty of salties. I just don't have any grease monkeys. That's what I want. I've got plenty of demo squads. Just the monkeys I don't have, and I can't see. I cannot seem to get. I can hit next, left, and right to it, or in between, but I cannot hit the monkey. It's just one of the, and they never used to be that hard. Well, I can't remember that they had been that hard to get. You know, I even got one of the radiation crews, and I haven't had them since forever.
Yeah, I think they certainly go through cycles, because I know, I can't remember how long ago it was. It was earlier this year that I couldn't roll the demo squad for, it didn't matter how much uranium I threw at it, I just could not roll one. So, and, other people have had times where they've said they can't roll grease monkeys, and I keep on getting them. So I don't know how, it's supposedly a random number generator, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I was ditching silver salties as well. So
I got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
How many, since everybody who logged into the game for that amount of time was given a free bat ray fleet, okay, and was probably able to get actually pretty decent points in the raid if they put a little bit of time in it, how many people do you think are in the same position I am now that will never be able to do base race because they've actually just skipped over ice dragons, or icebreakers, and went straight to inferno dragons? So they're never going to have a fleet to do base race with.
Quite a few.
Yeah, it's silly. I mean, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not. It doesn't greatly upset me, but why not put another option in there that you can use another fleet, or do something totally different, so that everyone can participate in that TLC, and not to exclude certain people that have had a dock full of unused chips, and then they deleted them and scrapped them because they weren't any good anymore, and upgraded to the newer model, and now can't do that particular campaign, so that they can get some structure built tokens. I think it's really silly that people get excluded. Everyone should be able to do everything, as long as it's the same category of fleets.
Well, like, aren't there quite a few of the TLCs this week that are supposed to be like quote unquote catch up mechanics that have like roadblocks basically to keep people from getting caught up? Like, for example, the Boone Buccaneer one, from somebody who's just again got bat raised during that raid, and were able to get enough fleet to get enough points to get some bucks, and they want to get the Boone Buccaneer to complete their fleet, but you have to have like a tier 6 siege. I'm like, well, I don't have one, so therefore I can't do that TLC because I can't unlock that aspect of it. It's like there's just, and this is old shit that there shouldn't be roadblocks into people getting.
Yeah, that lower person should be able to just take a gunboat in there if somebody's going to run it for them. They shouldn't have to have that. I mean, if it's a catch-up mechanism, you can't expect them to have it if you want them to try to be catching up.
It's almost that you need to have the fleet built in a specific way before you can hit a target, you know? You haven't got that special on, you can't hit it. It's getting that way. It's totally ridiculous.
That one restriction just made it to where they can't get the help they could get or should get, you know, or be able to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, my alt that I'm working on when I have a little bit of spare time is level 55. And I'm like looking over base race right now. And even in the first prize pack, like I could use the 3 labs that get upgraded to 11. And then, you know, in the second one, I could use the dock upgrade, shipyard upgrade. And then from there on, I could use pretty much everything in there. But I can't do it because I was able to get dragons instead of having to have icebreakers. And it's fucking stupid. You know, here I am, and like even taking us apart, not even considering the fact that this is an alt for me, but somebody who would be in the same position as me. You know, they like were gone from the game, they came back, they got the bat raised, boom, now they have dragons, but they can't use the catch-up mechanism because of that stupid restriction. It just really irks me. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. Yeah, I think, you know, this is just their way of doing things. You know, we had the same problem back in the the fleets that I can't think of, the hunters. You know, you couldn't do one without the other and all that sort of thing. It's just continuing on that theme. I guess, you know, there's nothing you can do about it apart from ignore it, because they're not gonna change anything. So as much as we might want them to, this, you know, it doesn't seem like.
Well, I look at it this way, they definitely won't change. I look at it this way, they definitely won't change it if people don't complain about it. So I'm complaining about it.
Yeah, no, I agree, but yeah, I just don't know how quickly it's gonna change. I mean, there's so many other things that they're dealing with. So cool. All right, well, let's drive this on home. So is there anything else anyone wanted to talk about?
Knocking babies on the head.
That's the one. I guess you're going to make me Google where that came from as well.
Might as well.
All right, well, yeah, I guess, you know, I think everyone's kind of, you know, just this VXP weekend's just left everyone, you know, jaws dropped and no one's really interested. So, you know, when I look at
taking the piss out of all of us, that's what it's done.
Yeah. When I look at the relay towers, you know, none of these, or very seldomly, these targets are being hit. So, and I can't remember a VXP weekend like this where, you know, there's been weekends where, you know, you've actually been hunting for targets, but not this time. So I guess they may realize this, they may not. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I can remember a raid like this. Can you?
Yeah.
I can remember a couple raids like this.
Yeah.
First Scourge raid, mind immediately.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to have to, you know, look at this and then look at the damage for the raid, and hopefully they'll understand that. Because I was actually trying to work that out. That, you know, so I won't put a number on it because everyone drops their shit every time I do. But, you know, out of X amount of players playing, how many people have got a fully, you know, have got 4 fully ranked, fully built eradicators? Maybe a couple of hundred. It's not going to be very many.
If that, honestly, if that,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, because I was, you know, trying to work it out by leaderboards and, you know, doing it that way, you know, thinking, well, people that got points in the last raid, you know, with their 3 billion points, well, they're probably going to, you know, have them and all that sort of thing. But realistically, when you look at the population of people playing Battle Pirates, it's going to be a very, very small amount. So, yet again there will be the separation between the haves and the have-nots. So
Here's a thing about that here. You see, what they may do is you either pay through your backside getting the VXP points, or you pay it when you do the raid and you can't do it. You pay the damage then. Either way, they're going to get their money. Or
yeah, well, it used to be the way that you'd put the VX. Go on, Damnation.
I'm sure it'll be the same as it always is, and you're going to pay for it on both ends. You're going to pay for it, get the VXP, and then you're still going to, even with the VXP, you're going to pay for it, taking damage. I mean, they used to be happy making you pay one end or the other, and just for a couple of years now, it's been we're not happy with making you pay on one end or the other. Now you got to pay on both ends.
So you'll pay even more without the VXP.
Or I won't pay anything and quit the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. That it used to be that you pay for your VXP knowing that your raid would be cheaper, but that's been long gone now. So, but this has been, I can't remember a VXP weekend that's been this bad. So,
well, it's shit. They know it's shit. They've heard about it on like Discord's been filled with how shit it is. Forums has been filled with how shit it is. I know all the people who talk to them directly have told them flat out that it's shit, and they just don't seem to care.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, when you throw it up for the weekend and then walk out of the office and don't have to hear about it, I guess it's easy not to care.
Yeah. And it'll all be over by the time they cut back, so they can just go on to the next issue. So,
Givers. All right. Cool. Anyway, drive it home.
Yep. Because I was going to say, we all know there's been enough bitching about it, so there's no point in bitching anymore. So it is what it is. Hopefully you'll get some rank on your ships, and hopefully you can get some TLCs done, and then we can look forward to Bounty next week. So hopefully everyone has a good week. And if you liked this, certainly give us a thumbs up and share it if you wish. You're more than welcome to come on and join us, bitch about things at any time. So each week we're here. Cool.
Hey,
all right, say goodbye.
You're more than welcome to hit that subscribe button too.
Yeah, that'd probably help too. Cool. All right, say goodbye, everyone. Because I'm saying goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
See you later.
You guys can't listen to instructions. He said to say goodbye, everyone.